Got to unmute myself. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brandy Walker, Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm super excited to have you guys on tonight. It's been a minute since I've seen everybody. I've been traveling for the last few weeks. But nevertheless, we had an incredible month. This reset, I think, has kind of lit a fire under existing ambassadors, under new people coming on, and it's just because y'all, it works. It's just it's an amazing product, and I'm so excited about it. I truly believe this is kind of something that we have needed all along, and it's just given us all what we need for our business, for our health, and I'm just super excited about it. But tonight we have a very special guest. We have Emerald Ambassador Kelly Foster, and y'all, she has made the leaderboard, she and her team, for the last 2 weeks in a row. And if y'all don't know what that is, it's the company-wide leaderboard. She earned the most business building bonuses, or she was in the top 20. Kelly, you'll have to remind me exactly what number. I know 1 week you were number 16, and I don't remember what the...
And then 20.
Number 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, that's still amazing, y'all. It's incredible, and I'm so proud of her. And you know, you don't make the leaderboard just by all of a sudden deciding to work. They have been working consistently for a very long time now, and it's paying off. And so I just want to tell a little bit about Kelly. She's a mom of 4. She's a teacher. She's a grandma of 2, y'all. That's like my goal, to look like Kelly Foster when I'm a grandma. She is absolutely beautiful inside and out. If you don't know her, she's got a heart of gold, and I don't know that I've ever met anybody quite like Kelly. She is a health enthusiast. She's always working out. She looks amazing. You can tell, but she doesn't just preach that, she walks the walk. And so her team, okay, last month they added 96 people, and she had a 293 point growth. Y'all, that is incredible. And so without further ado, Kelly is just going to tell us basically what they've been doing, and to get her team in just this crazy momentum. And 2 weeks in a row, I mean, one time could be okay, that's pretty cool, but 2 weeks in a row, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again. So Kelly, I'm just going to let you take it over.
Well, thank you for your kind words, Brandy. That's so sweet. And I feel humbled and a little bit shy after that, but thank you for saying that. That's very sweet. And you're right. Yeah, my team is amazing, and I'm just so proud of them. And obviously I did not do this by myself. So I spent a couple opportunities kind of just thinking about, okay, well, what have we done, so that I could give you something to share. And I really want to just tell you that there's not one thing. It's a bunch of things that we've done consistently over time. And I think I want to lead with this book. If you haven't read it, I truly believe that it's everything. Like in the first, second or third chapter, it talks about the British cycling team and how they, for 100 years, were just mediocre. And it got so bad that cycle manufacturers were not selling to them because they were afraid it was going to make their bikes look bad. And so they hired, in 2003, they hired a new director, and he just kind of said, okay, what if we can improve by 1% the bike seat so that their butts don't get sore? And what else can we improve by 1%? And so hundreds of things. They got a more comfortable bike seat. They rubbed alcohol on the tires to increase the grip. They had like temperature control clothing over their muscles to maintain the perfect temperature for muscle movement, and like hundreds of little 1% increases. And after 5 years, when they went back to the Olympics, they took 60% of the gold medals. And so I really truly believe that's kind of what is happening with us. It's a bunch of little 1% improvements. And I'll just share those with you. And I truly believe that that's what's happening here. I went to Leadership Excellence in October. And I'm just a little bit of backstory, just so you know. I went Emerald in, I don't even remember, but it was 4 years ago, almost. Well, it's been 4 years of Emerald. And after I went Emerald, I didn't get my Emerald points for more than a year. And I truly sit before you telling you that even though that happened to me, yeah, I was kind of bummed because of my paycheck, but I still, with every fiber of my being, believed that I'm going diamond. I'm going diamond. If you would have asked me how during that time period, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you, because I didn't know how. I just believed it so much. And so I never stopped working. We never stopped working. We never stopped believing. But going to that training really was a turning point for me, because I left that training knowing how. Okay, so now I know how. And you know, that wasn't everything, but that was a big piece of it. I came back from there, you know, with systems that I was ready to share with my team. And the biggest thing that kind of happened after that was I decided that it was important for me to turn into my team and kind of be a leader for my team, and start leading calls for my team, start asking my team to take, you know, on more leadership. And there have been so many times, I'm here to tell you that, you know, I've shown up and been the only one, or there's been one other person, and I'm fine with it and I'm okay with it. In my head, I just knew, keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. And I'm going to find the people who want to do this with me and are going to show up with me. And so, you know, that was a big thing for me. It's just kind of like turning into my team and deciding to show up as a leader for my team. Yeah, so, okay, I'm just going to kind of go through a few of these things, and I'll elaborate on a few of them. But again, these are just like my little 1% increases and improvements that I believe really just kind of led to the compound effect for me. I decided to ask my, for sure, my level 1 leaders. I asked them for a commitment, and, you know, I said to them, you know, I think it was John Maxwell who said, if you don't ask for a commitment, you are accepting the uncommitted. And that was kind of like a aha moment for me, because I certainly had not ever taken the time to, you know, have a conversation with them and say, you know, will you commit to, you know, doing this business with me and showing up and being consistent in our chats and coming to trainings. And so I did. I asked them all for a commitment, and I started asking more consistently for an opportunity to coach them. And, you know, that was a part of my leadership lid, you know, having, feeling like I was qualified to coach them. And like I said, you know, before Leadership Excellence, I really didn't know how to do that. That was really, you know, huge for me. But being able to come back and know how to support them and know what it is specifically that it takes to, you know, go the distance in this business. And so I really started breaking it down by the 4 pillars, you know, retention, recruiting, duplication, and leadership. And so just really working intentionally through those 4 pillars for anybody who's willing to show up and, you know, give me, you know, the opportunity to support them and coach them. And that's been going really well. We started doing weekly power hours. You know, every Monday night we do a power hour, and, you know, we ask for our leaders to step up and lead those. I know, I'm here to tell you guys, when I was a gold ambassador, Brandy Walker asked me to lead a power hour. I remember like it was yesterday. I logged in and it said Brandy Walker in the lower left-hand corner of my screen. And I was terrified, and I had never done one before, but you better believe if Brandy Walker asks me to lead a power hour, I'm going to pull my, big girl panties on and do it. And so I probably spent, 4 or 5 hours that day watching YouTube videos. Didn't really know that you couldn't find power hours per se on YouTube, but anything that I could find to kind of give me an outline or whatever. And I did it, and I loved it, and I was proud of myself, and I didn't die. And just kind of taking, reaching out and asking your people to do scary things, that's really important. And so make sure that you're doing that. That's huge. Another thing that I do, I think that is just one of those 1%ers, and I don't know if it's something that's new, but I consistently lead with the business. And guys, I have 9 level 1 runners. That's a lot. And I really just attribute that to the fact that I do not shy away from leading with the business. And I tell people about the business, because just as many people as you are sharing the health benefits with need this financial opportunity, especially right now, guys, we're going through a recession. And so if you think about it, we're in the right now, there's no better time because people can't afford gas. They can't afford their groceries. And even people who are, financially stable are feeling this pinch. And so that's something that we should all be doing consistently. And I think I do attribute, the fact that I do share the business just probably more now than I even share the health benefits. So make sure that you're doing that. A big thing that when I went to Leadership Excellence, I really had a light bulb moment and realized that I had been making a lot of excuses, and I felt like I had reached out to everybody I could possibly reach out to. And you can ask my upline, Lisa Hudson, how many times I said to her, I don't have anybody else to reach out to. You should have smacked me. At some point, you should have smacked me, because I probably said it 1,000 times. And, that was just me making an excuse. And so I really realized that even had I reached out to all 1,700 of my Facebook friends, which obviously I have not, I still could go back to those people. I can't find the one that's unmuted. I could still go back to those people that I had already reached out to and reach out to them with a new message. So probably if they were somebody I had reached out to, in the past, and maybe I hadn't reached out to them with my business building, message. And so that's really what I did. I went through and I made a brand new list with hundreds of people's names on it. And I just decided, okay, I'm brand new and here's my list. And I have no more excuses. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. And that is a fact. So if I was sitting there, making excuses, I believed I was going to go diamond. I believed my team was, going to go diamond. I didn't know how. And I was sitting there waiting for it to happen. Shame on me. But I really just kind of got over myself and stopped making excuses and decided that, hey, I have to be my own rock star. I can't sit and wait for it to happen. And it's time for me to get to work. And so when I came back from there, I really worked hard to implement systems. And so let me just talk to you really briefly about systems. Again, going back to the Atomic Habits. In Atomic Habits, he differentiates between goals and systems. So a goal, for example, like maybe your goal is to win an Olympic gold, or maybe your goal is to get that job. The problem with goals is that it really kind of sets you up for failure, because if my goal is to win Olympic gold and I don't win Olympic gold, then do I feel bad? Do I feel like I lost? Do I feel like I didn't meet my goal? Only one person can get it. If my goal is to, get that job and there's 100 candidates, only one. So it really puts you in a win or lose situation. And instead of doing that, what you need to do is you need to every day do the things that the person who is going to win the gold medal or the person who's going to win that job needs to do in order to get there. So breaking it down into systems. So if my goal is to be a diamond ambassador, then every day I need to be doing the things that it's going to take for me to be a diamond ambassador, which means I have to be recruiting, I have to be developing leaders, I have to be developing my own mind and working my own leadership. I have to be making new connections. I have to be leading training calls. And so when I came back from Leadership Excellence, I took the systems that they shared with us and kind of tweaked them and kind of made them our own. And the idea is that every single day that you show up as that person, it's really a vote for the person that you want to become. So every day you have an opportunity to win. Every day you have an opportunity to be proud. Every day you have an opportunity to succeed, because even though I'm not a diamond yet, I did the things today that it's going to require for me to someday be a diamond. And so every day you have an opportunity to win and to succeed. And when you break it down that way, it's such a sense of freedom, because you every day when you lay your head on that pillow, you go, hey, I'm not a diamond yet, but I am going to be one, because guess what? I did the things. I showed up. I did the things that it's going to require for me to someday be diamond. So now I can let out of my control when that happens, because I'm showing up every day. And so we have a winning day system on our team, and I use it every gosh darn day, except for Sundays when I really just, it's my day to check out, and that's just my choice. But every single day I open that page, and I'm accountable to myself, and I give myself an opportunity to, cast a vote for Kelly Foster, future Diamond Ambassador, and gives me an opportunity to win and to feel proud and to succeed. And I'm no longer just believing that someday I'm going to be a diamond. I'm doing the things that it requires for me to someday be a diamond. And so on our winning day sheet, I changed it to lead with a growth task, because I'm here to tell you that we can teach you recruiting, we can teach you retention, we can teach you duplication. This is all like stuff. But if you are not lifting your leadership lid, if you are not doing the personal development, if you're not doing the growth, it's going to stunt your business. And so I moved it to the very top of our page, because I believe that it's the most important thing. I truly, truly, truly believe it's the most important thing. And when you do it first, so for me, for example, I listen to a podcast, because a podcast is 20 minutes long. And so I can do that while I'm, driving to work, or while I'm putting on my makeup or whatever. Or like if I'm working in the morning and I'm coming home in the afternoon, I'll listen to it in the car on the way home. Because when I listen to that podcast before I do my my reach outs and my follow-ups, it totally changes the quality of the action that I'm going to take. It boosts my confidence. It puts me in the right frame of mind to do the tasks that I need to do. And I think people are very receptive to, the language that we use, and, how we communicate with them. And if you approach them with a level of confidence, they're going to feel that, and that's going to affect, how they respond to you. So that is first. You can't skip it. It used to be on the bottom of the page, and I was like, no, it needs to be at the top of the page. You cannot skip it. And you don't want to, because it's going to change the quality of your action. The other thing is, like, there are days where I just feel like, like maybe my confidence is down, and I'm just like tired, and I can still push play on a podcast, right? And pushing play on a podcast it's like a 180-degree switch is turned, because now guess what? Suddenly I feel like doing my IPA like a boss. So it just changes your mindset. Besides changing the quality of the actions that you take, it changes your mindset. It puts you in the right frame of mind to do the work that we have to do. So that's one of the systems that that I think is really, really important. But you can't skip the personal development. You just can't. I love, for podcasts, my team, I tell them all the time, I love Bob Heilig. He's got all of his on podcasts on Apple, on iTunes now. And I also love the Network Marketing Ninja. If you've never listened to him, I'll just warn you, he's, I think he's British, he might be Scottish, I don't know, but he's got a very thick accent and he talks very, very, very fast. So the first time you listen to him, you're going to be like, oh boy. But once you fall into his cadence, you'll understand him, but he's so good. And there's like 300 of them. So go back to like, go back into the hundreds and start there and just move your way up. Same with Bob Heilig. They're gold, Okay, so what else? The other thing that I just want to say to you, and this is kind of something personal for me that I have done or have internalized. I'm not telling you anything that you have not heard before. I'm very confident of that. It's kind of the same thing that we have been saying and saying and saying. But the difference for me was when you learn something, it's what you do with it that is going to be the difference maker. So when I listen to a podcast, for example, I learn something from it, and then I'm going to do something new because of it. Nothing changes if nothing changes, period. So if you learn something new, you have to then take action. You have to take different action. You have to take better action or more quality action. You have to do something new because of what you learned. And so that was a big thing for me. I mean, I had heard all this before. I knew all this. But I started doing something with it. And I'm talking about like last October. Okay. That's when I went to Leadership Excellence. So I came back from there and changed my actions to reflect what I was learning. And so every day, here's your little 1%, every single solitary day, you listen to that podcast, you learn something new, and then you do something new, right? You do better so that you can be better. So if you're just learning, if you're just taking in the information, you're not doing anything with it. That's kind of like Tarl said when we were at convention. He said, this is so much. We've gone over so many things here. Take one thing and determine to do something with it. Like, what are you going to do differently? And so if you've, heard a lot, of these little 1%ers from me, take one thing that you are willing to do and do something new, do something different, because nothing changes if nothing changes. What else do I want to tell you? I think I covered them. Oh, one other thing that I did do is and this was terrifying for me, and I see some people from my team on this call, so I'm just being very vulnerable here, but I listened to a podcast back in, it's maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And it was Melanie Mitro. She's another really good one. And it was about sharing vision with your team. And so I did a live on my team page and first of all, I wrote out my vision. It forced me to kind of clarify, well, what is my vision? What vision is casting that feeling and that inspiration to your team. So it's no longer your own, right? This is where we are going, and this is how we're going to get there, kind of thing. And so it forced me to really write that out and think about it and be very clear about where are we going and how are we going to get there. And so I did a live on my team page and shared that with my team, which held me accountable. And really, when you have accountability, it kind of changes the intensity with which you work, right? It changes, again, the quality of your work. And so I did that maybe in March, and I don't know if that was, I don't know how much of an impact, but it was a 1%er, right? These are all these little things that I did. And we're continuing to do them. So, I mean, just if you continue to show up and continue to show up and continue to show up, and only one person is there, you're actually in great shape, because doing that duplication with one person is ideal, because then it's going to spill over to 4 and it's going to spill over to 6, so do not grow weary. If you have a system, if you don't have a system, reach out to me and I will share mine with you, but we have them all over this team. But you need to have a system. A system makes your work measurable. And it really gives you an opportunity, like I said, to be a winner each day. Each day that you do that system, you're casting a vote for that future version of yourself. And so just continue to show up. Do not grow weary. Do that podcast, listen to that podcast. That's turned you into a rock star. It's like a jolt of, I've got this. Even when you don't feel like you have it, we all have those moments. And so starting with that, I think, is huge. And that's, I think, all of my nuggets.
That's so awesome, Kelly. Honestly, I 1000% agree with everything you said, and particularly the personal growth and the podcast. And y'all, I'm a diamond. And I literally my husband just on Amazon Prime Day, just bought me some of these little earpod, or whatever they're called, AirPod thingies. I just got them like last week. So I've made it all the way to Diamond. You can do it without AirPods. And I've been traveling for the last month, but today was my first day at home in a while. And I literally just walked around listening to podcasts and videos and all day while I'm unpacking, while I'm changing. Like, this is like life changing. If you don't have these, you need to get them, because you don't have to have them, but just listening to things that like fill your cup and give you new ways of thinking about things, because, we can talk all day long. Your upline can talk all day long. But hearing it for yourself and just pouring into yourself and just learning new things, being open, is just so huge. And obviously that, Kelly, I mean, you're always a big reader, and you're always talking about the books that you've read. It's always inspiring to me, because I've never been like that much of a reader. I will listen to a podcast, but it always inspires me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get that book. I'm going to read it like Kelly does. But does anybody have any questions for her? Because y'all, this is the time to ask right now. If you do, you can just unmute yourself.
I'll share one other little thing that I just wrote on the side that I wanted to share with you. I listened to a podcast a while back that really kind of hit me square between the eyes. And that was looking for opportunities to shout out actions versus results. Because, and results are great too, shouting out results. Everybody loves that, and that feels great. But results aren't duplicatable, but actions are. So looking for opportunities to shout your people out for the action that they took, doing something scary, leading a call, turning in a goal sheet, whatever. So looking for those opportunities to shout out actions versus, signing up a VIP, which is great, which is fabulous, but the action that people take is what gets them the results. So just kind of looking for those opportunities. And Lisa and I we share a business builders page. And so, we do that on there, but it's really just retraining yourself to kind of focus on that versus always just results.
Absolutely. Because Jim Bev always says to shout out what you want to see more of. So if somebody did a video and you want more people to do videos, you shout them out for that. If somebody, whatever it is. And I think that is so key. Like, people want to be seen and they want to be heard, and they don't want to feel like their actions are in vain. Because we all know you may reach out to somebody. I think Martina's on this call. I reached out to her 22 times, y'all. 22 times. I think she's probably the most I've ever reached out to somebody, and she kind of ignored me for a while. So I mean, you just kind of have to do those same actions. Just because you reach out to me this month and you're doing those actions, she said, sorry, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to sign up that month. Like, you have to keep talking to them, and, you know, they have to keep seeing you post and having those conversations going. So I think that's, you're exactly right. You've got to, I don't know, recognize people for what they're doing, for sure.
Yes. So true. And along that same vein, this is something that I've really always been kind of cognizant of, is that it was like a quote that somebody, like some training that I listened to however long ago, more is caught than taught, which you probably heard it before, but it really hit me square between the eyes. I have to do the things that I hope and pray and wish and want for my team to do. I can't tell them, I'm not in charge of them. I'm not their boss. They don't work for me, but I have to show up the way that I hope that they will show up. And that's just the bottom line. So this is something I'm very aware of. And I think about it constantly, and I use it as a measure for, where I'm showing up in my business too.
And you do hard things that you're scared to do.
True story.
Definitely, over 7 years, I've totally learned that the things that I'm scared to do are the exact things that I need to be doing, because those are the things that I avoid. And so if you just start out your day with those things, if like cold messaging, or, whatever you want to call it now, reaching out to people, if that's what you're scared to do, just go ahead and knock it out. Do that first. And
after your podcast, do it.
Yes, after your podcast, because then you'll be like all pumped up and ready to go.
Right. That's right. That's how it works.
Hard things first, and then the rest of the day is easy peasy. So, well, thank you, Kelly. If nobody else has any questions, shall last chance. I didn't look at the chat.
I scrolled through it. I didn't see any.
Kelly, what was
Hey, Kelly?
next?
Kelly?
I hear somebody. I don't know who it is.
Oh, it's Patty.
Hi, Patty.
What was the third podcast person that you listed? I got Bob Heilig and the Network Working Ninja. You mentioned, I think, a lady's name.
Melanie Mitro. She actually,
Yes.
She is a Beachbody. She did Beachbody and she went way up the ranks in Beachbody, but she does general network marketing podcast, and she's fabulous. I've shared lots of hers on our business building page, Patty. You can even search there. But yeah, she's awesome.
What was it? Melanie?
Thank you.
What?
Mitro, M-I-T-R-O.
M-I-T-R. Okay, cool. I wrote down the other two too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, if we don't have any more questions, I think that's going to be all for tonight. Thank you guys for hopping on. And as soon as Kelly gets this downloaded, we'll upload this recording to the team pages, and so you can share it with your teams. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you.
Yes, have a great night.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye-bye, guys.